Today we have a old mandolin slicer that has seen better days. I'm gonna just clean it up, polish it up, try to tighten this up so it slides better, so that we can use it to actually cut food. I don't feel that this is really too sanitary to be slicing food on. First, we're going to start with some 220 and see if we can get this cleaned up here. So that's a pretty good first pass. I think we're gonna take it over to the wire wheel and get down in these cracks here, right where I can't get in there with the sandpaper, and then we'll come back and hit it with the 400. So here we are back at the wire wheel. Remember, wear a dust mask, always wear safety glasses, let the wheel do the work. I've got the shop vac hooked up. Okay, here we are back at the bench. You can see the wire wheel really did a great job at getting down in these corners, getting in here, and so we'll go up the grits now. We started at 220. The next is 400. So it seems that when this was manufactured, this blade was originally blued. That's what you're seeing down in here and down in the corners where I can't get that. That's not rust or corrosion or anything like that. I think that's just the remnants of the bluing. So that's what that is. You can see it also down here and down here. All right, that looks pretty good right now. I can still see there's some like rust down in here. We'll get to that later. I want to move on to this part. Now this part's aluminum. So I use an aluminum polish, but I'm not going to use it on this part due to the fact that it is going to be used for food, and this does leave a residue, and I don't want any of that residue getting into my system. Mother's mag and aluminum wheel polish. This stuff, if you haven't used this to polish aluminum, it is one of the best, if not the best, aluminum polish, in my opinion, on the market. Magnesium, aluminum, works awesome on brass. So if you're looking to clean something up, this is great. I don't have any kind of sponsorships from these guys. I just use this. I'll help you guys and let you know what works for me. This is good. If you don't have some, go get some. So for the aluminum, I'm going to start off a little lighter. I'm not going to start off with the 200. I'm going to start with the 400 and try to get this thing cleaned up. So I just had to find a couple scrap pieces of wood to use for a block so I could really get some pressure against this top side without deforming the sides. You can see in here, where this rides against here, this is the lock. This is pretty gross in here. we're gonna have to go get another tool so that we can get in there. You know, I was born with what my family calls gorilla fingers, so there's no way I'm going to be able to get down in there. So we're going to have to go get another tool. So I have the flexible wand attached to my Dremel, and I have a three-jaw chuck that goes into the collet to use for smaller bits, and or like if you want to use it for small drilling. These things are great. So here we go. All right, that looks pretty good. We will finish it off with the 1200. I do want to get back to this and use this same tool to get down into these crevices here. Get that last bit of rust out of there. So these pieces are starting to look pretty good. So, like I said, I think I'm just going to go over this with a 1200 real quick and see what it looks like then. Yeah, you can see that's pretty good there. The insides are all clean. Assemble this back together. Yeah, seems to be working much better now. I do want to tighten these a little bit because, you know, they're supposed to slide. This one, the back one, is supposed to be loose because that's, you press here when you're slicing and it locks the blade down. But the front one, you can see the front, they do move, and that's just, you know, however old this thing is over the years. Before we get to start tightening those things, like I said, this blade is still very, very sharp, but it is, you know, it is pretty jagged. So I'm going to take a small sharpening stone, and I'm going to try to, you know, just get some of those pits taken down. And this is a ceramic stone that I'm just going to go draw across the blade a few times. You can hear how much nice and smoother it is now. So yeah, that is crazy sharp now. I don't know much about knives or metals, but whatever that was made out of, it has really kept an edge for a long, long time. And now, like I said, I want to tighten these pieces up right here. And I think for that, I'm just going to get a small hammer. You know, I have like a jeweler's hammer, and I'm just going to try, you know, tapping lightly to get these just to bend back in. There we go. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah, you can see it says caution, blade very sharp. So I'm just going to wipe this down real quick, and I think we're done. Just a rag and a little bit of plain water. cleaned up. Yeah, it was a quick one. It was pretty easy, but I don't feel bad about using this to cut food. I'm sure. I mean, it's a great tool. My grandmother had one. We have one. If you find, I don't even know if they make these anymore, but if you're ever at a garage sale or yard sale and they have one of these, I recommend it totally.